The month was August of 2012, and I had just given birth to my daughter via C-section delivery. And during the C-section, my mom was holding my hand, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, we have a girl, we have a girl." And I was really excited, but she was rubbing and squeezing my hand, and I couldn't feel it. Moments before that, I got this really bad headache. It's like the worst headache you can ever imagine. And, I didn't think anything of it. But right after, I lost the feeling in my hand. And after that, that's when everything kind of took a turn for the worse. And they rushed me from Baptist downtown in Jacksonville to Shands in Gainesville. So they saw that it was 2 major strokes, ischemic and a hemorrhagic. So it was a blood clot and a bleed on my brain, all during the C-section.
When my daughter was born in 2001, she was born with congenital heart disease. As a mother who's just given birth and you find out that your daughter could possibly not make it, that's a scary thing. And the first thing you want to do is you want to gather more information on it. And the American Heart Association made that possible. In October of this past year, I actually passed out at work. No symptoms prior to that, just had some blurred vision at my desk at work, and passed out and found out that I had a massive tumor on my aortic valve. And I needed emergency open heart surgery as well.
It was Christmas Eve, and we had been out with some friends at a party, and I had been feeling off and on for about a month before Christmas. Shoulder pain, a little bit of indigestion, but not horrible, mostly just the shoulder pain. And I just felt like I was going to be sick and just knew something wasn't right. So I woke John up and I said to him, "I think I need to go to the hospital." And he kept telling me, "It's heartburn, you ate a hamburger at 2 o'clock this morning. Go back to bed, you'll be fine." And with that, I asked him to get the garbage can, and I proceeded to throw up. And at that point, he knew there was something wrong with me. I started to get dressed. He turned around to get my shoes, and that's all I remember. I had fallen to the ground and collapsed.
I knew something was obviously immediately wrong, so I called 911 immediately. I told them that she had stopped breathing, and they said, "You're going to have to start CPR." The dispatcher was phenomenal, and she walked me through the count and did no breath CPR, and this continued for what seemed like an eternity. And the EMTs came in, the paramedics, and they immediately used the defibrillator and shocked her, and then they started CPR and they intubated her, and they worked on her for about a half an hour in the ambulance, or in the floor, and then they moved her to the ambulance. At which point I asked one of the paramedics, I said, "Do you have a pulse on her?" And he said, "No, sir, we don't." I was in a panic. I couldn't believe it was happening. I just wanted it to stop, just go back to normal, start breathing again, let this be something minor. But I knew once I started CPR that it was very serious, and it was terrifying.
When I came to, I was unconscious for 2 days. And when I woke up, I remember seeing my father, and I remember seeing the doctor, Dr. Zenny. And he was the one who had put the stent in. And he looked at me, and his first words was, "Did you see the bright light?" And then they had told me that I had had a major heart attack, and that only 2% of the people survive. And they couldn't believe that I came through with, absolutely nothing wrong with me.
The CPR played a vital role in this, in keeping her alive.
If John hadn't been home, I live alone, because he was gone in Afghanistan, possibly still. So I can tell you, my best bet would be that I wouldn't be sitting here today.
On this 10th year anniversary of the Go Red for Women, I just want to thank you all, the American Heart Association, for all that you've done to help save my life and help me to live a healthier life.
I can't thank you enough. Each and every one of you. Words can almost not describe this as well, but I want to thank you for raising awareness to this most important cause. It's changed our lives, it's changed our families' lives.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you on this 10th anniversary of Go Red for all the awareness you raise, for all of the support you provide, and for my wife's life. Hopefully she'll be around for many years to come. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone for being a part of the American Heart Association, and for me to be here telling my story to get the word out to everyone. They can't do it alone. They need your support, and we hope that you will be generous with your contributions today.